While catching up with all 1,000 plus chapters of One Piece might take you a while, learning how to play the One Piece card game is thankfully much more straightforward. The One Piece card game brings one of the most popular manga and anime series to its own trading card game, allowing players to battle as Luffy, Sanji, Nami, and other familiar characters from the long-running franchise. Two players battle to wear their opponent down to 0 life by playing characters from their deck, paying for cards and boosting their power with Don cards, a reference to the manga's use of Japanese onomatopoeia as a sound effect. Each deck is led by a leader who has their own powerful abilities and must be defended against attacks from the opponent. By using your card's abilities, attacking your opponent's leader, and defending your own characters from attacks, you'll be able to take victory and become king of the pirates. So to take your first step onto the Grand Line, keep watching to learn how to play the One Piece card game. If you're just getting started with One Piece, we highly recommend picking up one of the starter decks, as they're a great intro into how a good deck looks and saves you working out what cards to put in before you've even played. But for those ready to start building, let's get into the details. To build a One Piece card game deck, first you'll need to choose a leader. These cards typically represent one of One Piece's most iconic characters, such as Monkey D. Luffy. Once you have chosen a leader, you can build your main deck. Your One Piece card game deck must include exactly 50 cards, and these must be the same color as your leader card, although the leader doesn't count towards the final number of cards you need. If a leader card has multiple colors, it's treated as both of those, allowing multiple colored cards to be included in the deck. There are 6 colors overall: red, green, blue, purple, black, and yellow, with 2 card types made up of character cards and event cards. You're limited to 4 copies of the same card, determined by the card number in each deck. As well as your leader card and deck, you'll need to create a separate Don deck that contains exactly 10 Don cards. These cards are effectively the same in terms of gameplay effect, although they may have different artwork, and are used to pay for your other cards, activate effects, and boost the power of your characters and leader during attacks. Shuffle your deck and Don deck. Place your deck and Don deck face down in their respective areas. Your Don deck is placed on the left of your field, with your main deck to the right. Leave a space below it for your trash/discard pile. Between your Don deck and trash pile is what's known as your cost area. This is where your Don cards will be placed as they're drawn. Don cards are used to pay for character cards, effects, and to boost your other cards' power. Place your leader card to the left of your deck, leaving a space between the two for your stage card. Above your leader, stage card area, and deck is the character area, where any played character cards should be placed during the game. Decide which player should go first. The official One Piece card game rules recommend using rock, paper, scissors or a similar method. The winner chooses whether they want to go first or second. Each player then draws 5 cards from the top of their deck. Each player may mulligan once by shuffling their entire hand back into their deck and drawing another 5 cards from the top. Place any number of cards equal to the life value of your leader, which can be seen in the bottom right corner in a face-down pile in your life area above your Don deck. You can't look at or reorder the cards in your life area. Now you're ready to play, starting with the first player. Be sure to take note that the first player will not draw a card during their first turn, and only draws a single Don card on that first turn. Turns in the One Piece card game consist of 5 key phases: refresh phase, draw phase, Don phase, main phase, and end phase. First up, the refresh phase. This is when any until the start of your next turn effects end, and you return any Don cards attached to your leader and character cards to your cost area. Then reset any rested cards. This is signified when they're turned 90 degrees sideways, similar to tapping in Magic the Gathering. You activate them by turning them upright again. Second, the draw phase. Draw 1 card from the top of your deck. The first player obviously skips this step on their very first turn. Third, the Don phase. Draw 2 Don cards from your Don deck and place them face up in your cost area. As said earlier, the first player only draws and places a single Don on their first turn. Don cards are added to your cost area in an active position, orientated vertically. Next up is the main phase. This is where most of the One Piece card game's action happens. Players can perform any combination of the following 4 actions, in any order and as many times as they like. Play a card, attach Don cards, use card effects, and attack. To play a card from your hand, rest Don cards in your cost area by turning them 90 degrees sideways. The number of cards you must rest is equal to the card's cost, as noted in the top left corner. Character cards and stage cards remain on the field once played. Character cards are placed above your leader and deck, while stage cards are placed between your leader and deck. Each player can have only a single stage card in effect at one time. When you play a new stage card, discard the existing stage card to your trash pile. Characters cannot attack on the turn they're played or on each player's first turn. Event cards activate immediately before being discarded to your trash. To attach Don cards, take any that haven't been rested, in other words, they're still active as signified by being orientated upright, and attach them to your leader or another character. Each Don card adds plus 1000 power to the attached character. Multiple Don cards can be attached to a single character. And when a card with Don cards attached to it leaves the field, for instance by a character being defeated, those attached Don cards are returned to your cost area rested. Character cards and your leader can also use the effects listed in their card text. Card effects may require specific conditions as listed on the card. And finally, attacking is the main way that players move towards victory in the One Piece card game, by fighting their opponent and aiming to reduce their life to 0. When attacking, players can choose to target their opponent's leader or any rested character controlled by their opponent. Each player cannot attack on their first turn, and characters can't attack on the same turn they're played, similar to Magic the Gathering's Summoning Sickness. To attack with your leader or a character, rest the active card by turning it 90 degrees sideways and announce your target. You can target your opponent's leader or one of their rested character. Resolve any when attacking effects once you've chosen a target. If a card has a blocker ability, it now activates. That keyword allows the other active card to be rested and take the damage instead. The defending player can then choose whether to play a counter card from their hand, trashing a character card in order to add the specified counter value to the defending card's power, or an event card to activate the effect as explained on the card. Once any effects have been resolved, the power values of the 2 cards are compared. Remember that each attached Don card adds plus 1000 power too. A card's power value can be found in its top right corner. If the attacker's power is greater than or equal to the card it is attacking, the attack is successful. If a leader is attacked successfully, the defending player takes 1 damage by adding a card from their life area to their hand by drawing a card from the face-down pile in the life area. If the drawn card has a trigger effect, the card may be revealed to activate that effect. If a player takes damage but has no cards left in their life area, they lose the game. If a character is attacked successfully, the defending card is KO'd and discarded to the player's trash pile. If a card successfully defends against an attack, nothing happens. No player takes damage or loses any cards. And then you go into the end phase. During the end phase, all effects that are active during this turn are ended. After that, play passes to your opponent on their turn. To win the One Piece card game, you must reduce your opponent's life to 0 by successfully attacking their leader card. When a player would take damage from a successful attack on their leader and has no more cards to draw from their life area, they lose. A player also loses if their deck runs out. As soon as there are 0 cards left, you lose the game. If both players suffer defeat at the same time, the game is a draw instead. In the One Piece TCG, there are a number of keywords to get to grips with when playing cards, so let's go through them all now. Banish. When the opponent suffers life damage, the card from their life area is discarded to their trash area instead of going to their hand. Any trigger effects are ignored. Blocker. This allows the card to be rested and take the place of another card being attacked. Counter. Counter effects can be activated when you're attacked, after a target is selected and any blocker effects have been resolved. The counter effect allows a character card to be trashed to add the specific value to the defending card's power, or an event to activate the effect as detailed on the card. Double attack. Deal 2 damage to the opponent when their leader is successfully attacked instead of 1. Rush. The character can attack on the same turn it's played. Trigger. Activates when the card is drawn from the life area after a player suffers damage. The card must be revealed to activate the trigger effect, but you can optionally choose to not reveal the card by not activating that effect. So, can you play the One Piece card game with more than 2 players? The One Piece card game's official rules are designed to be played with just 2 players. However, some enterprising fans may well come up with their own unofficial variants to allow multiplayer formats in time. So that's everything you need to know to get started with the One Piece TCG. Let us know in the comments if you've been playing and what decks you've built so far. You can also find an article version of this how to play over on dicebreaker.com, along with tons of other stories and updates on the entire world of tabletop. For more videos on TCGs and beyond, stick around here or head over to our TikTok account. You can also pop into our Discord to chat more about all the games you love. Head to the description to find all of those links you need. But until the next time, have a great time playing the One Piece TCG and have a lovely day.